About 2.5 years old, she was playing, and I could tell she was playing with someone, or at least that's what it seemed like. I was like, Kimberly, who are you talking to? And she'd say, I'm talking to my sister, Mama. Kimberly didn't have a sister when she was 2.5, 3 years old. I wanted to know how much did she know about her sister. So I started asking questions. How come you play with your sister so much when you don't have a sister? And she'd say, no, Mama, the sister from when I lived before. I was a little confused, but I didn't want to make it weird for her. So I said, oh, okay. I'd shared it with the pediatrician that she was playing with her sister that she didn't have. But he just said she had a great imagination. It's a sign of intelligence. Maybe she'll be a writer. And just let it go at that. Maybe a few weeks later, maybe a couple months later, I asked Kimberly, did your sister have a name? Because now I want to know, is this just a total fantasy? How far is this fantasy going? How creative is she? What's going to come of this? And Kimberly said, oh, yes, Mom, her name is Sarah. She likes to come play with me because she feels sorry. And I asked Kimberly, so Kimberly, what does Sarah feel sorry about? And she'd said, Mom, when we lived before, she killed me by pushing me in the fire. But it was an accident and she feels really sorry. In my head, I was thinking, oh my goodness, we have a problem. This is not normal. When Kimberly started school, I was worried for several reasons. One, she didn't sleep through the night, so how was she going to function in school if she could not sleep? And she had an imaginary sister she played with on a pretty regular basis. And lastly, she was very empathetic, so she's so busy worrying about everybody else. How exactly was she going to be able to go to school? When she was entering kindergarten, we sat Kimberly down and explained to her that talking about Sarah and bringing Sarah to school was not a good idea because not everybody will be understanding. Not everybody will think it is normal. My biggest fear was that she was going to talk about living before. That was my biggest fear. It's normal for a child to have an imaginary friend, but it is not entirely normal that they talk about living before. And it's really not normal to talk about being killed by being pushed in a fire. So taking those types of things to school, my concern was that they would think that she was somehow emotionally unstable and that there would be some type of backlash. If all of the issues that she was having with anxiety and sleep were related, I wanted to figure that out and get to the bottom of it. Kimberly had been talking about her life before and her sister Sarah for so long that when she got a little older, I finally decided to sit her down and ask her about everything she thought she remembered. I didn't expect her to have the kind of details she had. She said, I lived in Liverpool, England between 1860 and 1870. My dad was a merchant. My brother's name was Thomas. She was named Christina. She had a sister named Sarah and a mother named Anna, and they were poor and slept in a very small home in a straw bed that one night when they were all sleeping, the stove that they had, it caused a fire. And because they were sleeping in a straw bed, it went up very quickly. And her sister, thinking that she was helping her during that fire when a beam fell, actually pushed her into the fire because the beam fell on Christina, who is now Kimberly. I wouldn't want to sleep either if at some point in time a fire started when I was sleeping. So all the little stories about Sarah wanted to come play with her because she felt bad made sense. Not sleeping made sense. When Kimberly talked about having a sister and living before, it was so matter of fact that I knew she was telling the truth. She believed it. I started to wonder, could my child have lived before?
I'm Kimberly, and I'm 21 years old. In my past life, I passed away in a house fire. I think because of the way I passed away in my past life, I will probably always have sleeping problems in this life. In this life, I have a really hard time with tasks that involve growing up. High school graduation was really stressful to me because that was a stepping stone into becoming an adult. And I think it's because in my last life, I died really young. Therefore, this time around, it's my first time being an adult. Now, I don't see Sarah as an apparition. I don't see her as a person. I don't ever walk into a room and she's there. But I do have a sense of someone's watching me sometimes. And for me, because of the way I feel comforted and I'm not scared, I always feel like it's Sarah. I'm still really comforted by the idea that she's following me.
She really has looked over Kimberly and helped Kimberly as much as she can in this lifetime. But it really is time for Sarah's spirit to be acknowledged, forgiven, and let go.
She's been with me my entire life. It's kind of like a security blanket spirit for me. If she suddenly wasn't in my life and I realized that, it would make me miss her.
I'm hoping to be able to have a one-on-one, heart-to-heart talk with Kimberly about letting go of her past life. And that way, both of them can go on and be happy and healthy and succeed at whatever they choose to do, apart, but at the same time. And Kimberly can maybe just sleep through the night. Me and Kimberly are here today so that we can talk about her letting go of the past life and of Sarah, giving Kimberly the permission to move forward in this life and be comfortable and happy. So I was thinking that we could light a couple of candles, one for you and one for Sarah, and maybe say a prayer to St. Michael and help you and her break your bond that you've had your whole life. We've chosen saying a prayer to St. Michael because we are of Catholic faith. They say that St. Michael is the saint that is closest to angels. He is a connection between both worlds, and it is thought that he can help sever ties when there's ties that are too closely linked. What do you think about that?
I think opening the door would be a good start. I never thought about using a patron saint. I wear a saint every day, so I think it was the right route to go.
St. Michael, please help Sarah say goodbye so that Kimberly can be happy and Sarah can look down on her and be happy for her.
I want to call St. Michael to help her bear the weight so that she can move on, because I don't want to hold her back as much as she doesn't want to hold me back.
And they both could move forward in a positive manner. Amen.
Look, 21. Maybe that means something. I was really, really surprised to see her candle went out in the middle of talking to St. Michael. That means a lot to me because I think that's her showing me that she's ready to move on.
I'm feeling pretty good about how it went. Clearly, she's still carries a lot of emotion for it, but hopefully this will bring the closure that she needs. And how are you? Are you okay?
I think I'm okay just because I saw it. Like, I saw her take the invitation. I think that means a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.